I had everything planned, and I already knew what I wanted to say. This is the first day of the rest of your lives. Make your dreams come true. The tassel's worth the hassle. But that was a decade ago, and since then, Hollywood movie directors have stolen literally all of my ideas. So a few days ago, when I was actually asked to write a speech, I realized that I had no original ideas left. So I threw around some topics, but none of them really stood out to me until someone mentioned Lil Wayne. Obviously, it was to warn me not to reference his lyrics in my speech. But as all the parents here today already know, telling teenagers what they can't do only makes them want to do it more. Which is why I decided that I was going to write a graduation speech based on lyrics from one of his songs. He says, "I'm probably in the sky, flying with the fishes, or maybe in the ocean, swimming with the pigeons. The sky is the limit, and if you look up high, you'll see that I'm going to be in it." I love this quote because it made me realize that we are all fish. Fish trying to fly. High school is the pond in which we are all swimming right now, and next year will be when we begin trying to fly. So in college, or whatever you choose to do for the next few years, don't be afraid to make mistakes and fall back into the water a few times, because we're all fish, and we can't drown. It's only when you get out of college that you need to worry about drowning. You don't want to be the only fish left in the pond, looking up at all the other flying fish. So even though you're allowed to dive back in the pond a few times, don't forget that the ultimate purpose is to fly into the sky. So similar to how I was advised not to quote Lil Wayne, it seemed like every time I would work on my speech, people would tell me what I should avoid talking about. Don't mention how bittersweet this day is. Don't insult the underclassmen. And especially don't mention how much we will miss the cafeteria food. One piece of advice I kept hearing over and over was to not list a bunch of cliche phrases that are meant to motivate our class into chasing their hopes and dreams. But I feel like it's kind of a rite of passage at graduation, so here goes. Graduation is not the end, it is the beginning. I kind of disagree with this one, because graduation is the end. It is the end of the days when all we fishies do is swim around in little ponds, and it is the beginning of when we learn to fly. You look awkward for a few years until you know what you're doing, and it's kind of like puberty all over again. Aristotle is known for saying that education is the best provision for old age. And it's true, education is very important. It is what will get you out of the pond and up into the air. However, once you've been flying for a couple of decades, your bones might start to hurt, and your memory might not work as well. And at this point, it's best to stop pursuing your third doctorate degree and start investing in your 401k. After all, Aristotle was born in 385 BC, and this is the 21st century. There's one more thing that everyone told me not to do, but I think that this speech would be incomplete without it, and these are all of the thank yous that I feel should be mentioned. One of the most commonly asked questions in high school is, when are we ever going to use this stuff in real life? And I think I finally figured it out. So thank you to my physics teacher for teaching us how to calculate the velocity required to overcome the force of gravity in order to allow fish to fly. Thank you to my biology teacher for teaching us about natural selection. It gives me hope that one day the respiratory systems of fish will evolve to actually allow fish to stay in the air. Thank you to my calculus teacher for teaching us how to calculate the area under the curve that fish take when they leap out of the water. And thank you to all the English teachers for helping us find the words to describe our journeys as we leap, soar, jump, and escalate into the air. Thank you to all of the teachers and administrators who have allowed us to live in their pond for 3 years. But most of all, thank you to all of the parents who have simultaneously put up with all of our complaining while pushing us out of the water. I've realized that I've learned some things from attempting to write this speech. One is to keep an open mind from here on out, because you never know who or what you can learn from. If I can find life lessons in Wheezy's lyrics, I'm sure that we can all learn from our future professors, employers, and co-workers, just as we've all learned from each other these past 3 years. So congratulations to the class of 2012, and I hope to see you all in the sky.